Welcome to my team placement predictions for MCC Spellbound. Please note that these will most likely be very wrong, as has been the case in the past. First, let's review the games. There's Meltdown, Hole in the Wall, Build Mart, Parkour Tag, Sky Battle Remix, Parkour Warrior, Sands of Time, Rocket Spleef Rush, and Railroad Rush. That's 4 movement games, 3 team games, and 2 PvP games. This is definitely an interesting roster. Starting out in 10th place, I have Cyan. I've looked at other people's predictions, and I can see that I'm not alone with this placement. RefiStats disagrees and has Cyan in 6th, but let me explain. This is Pangy's first time in the top frag position. He popped off in Snowdown, achieving 2nd individual, which was an outstanding accomplishment, but his Snowdown team was stronger than his Spellbound team. Scott as a 2nd frag makes sense, and AMZ and Drift can both shine, but this isn't a good game roster for them, I don't think. Because of Pangy, I think this team would prefer PvP games, but with the absence of BattleBox and survival games, that brings this team down a bit. As stated earlier, there's 4 movement games in this roster. Leaning in a slightly different direction, I think this team would have preferred Bingo But Fast over Parkour Warrior. I know I'm saying all this like the player roster doesn't get to skip one of the games, but I just feel like the majority of the players would want to skip Parkour Tag instead. In 9th place, I have Pink. Tommy hasn't played MCC since Ender Cup, which was in 2024. 5UP has been doing well, but overall, I think this team is playing more for jokes. I know Tubbo really wants another win, but I don't know how the rest of the team feels. This isn't a team that I think can do well in most of the movement games, unfortunately. The only 2 games I think Pink can do really well in are Railroad Rush, since 5UP is a great IGL for that game, and Meltdown, since Tubbo has shown he can be very locked in during that game. In 8th place is Purple. You can argue that this is actually an amazing game roster for this team, but you have to take into consideration something Ollie and Eloise are doing the day of MCC. Those 2 are going to be tied together for the whole day. Now I don't know if they will still be tied together during the event, since in GMT the day is practically over by the time the event starts. As for the rest of the team, it depends on game order. Even though Sands of Time is most likely to be played last, personally I'd love to see it played something other than 8th. I think Purple would want it earlier. In 7th place is Yellow. I might get yelled at for this one. Both Michael and Sausage are usually the bottom frags of their team, so it's worse that they're both on the same team. I know it's difficult to balance Feinberg, but I don't think this is the way. Not having Ace Race helps this team, but obviously the absence of Bingo hurts this team. Out of the 3 events Feinberg has played in Season 5, he never got to play Rocket Spleef Rush. He got 6th and 4th in 4KO and Haunted Hoedown respectively, but that was a long time ago. I think Sands and Hole in the Wall are wildcards for the whole team, especially with the new Hole in the Wall changes. Surprisingly, this is where it gets harder to predict, 6th place of all spots. Either way, I have Lime here. They have some great games such as Parkour Warrior, Rocket Spleef Rush, and Meltdown. I actually think the ceiling for this team is really high, but they can get held back in games like Railroad Rush and Build Mart. At the top half now, in 5th place, I have Green. I actually think you can swap Green and Lime's placements and it wouldn't be a huge deal. While Lime has a higher chance to perform better than Green, Campbam is coming back from an amazing pop-off in MCC Double Date. This is the type of team that wants to do well and put in hours studying up on the games and their respective maps. Just yesterday, they did some on-stream practice too. There's no bad parkour players on this team, especially since Campbam and Hannah recently got coached by Sandwich Lord. I think their weak games are Parkour Tag and Build Mart, but they can do well in every other game. In 4th place, I have Orange. Don't get me wrong, I would love for this team to win, especially since it would be both CPK and False's 5th wins. It would also be poetic since Ren's first win, way back in MCC 9, happened when he was teamed with False. The games I think Orange gets held back in are Hole in the Wall, Build Mart, and Railroad Rush. False is known to be a hater of Railroad Rush, and it makes sense when you see that she doesn't have the most consistent placements in that game. In third place, I have Aqua. This is a beautiful game roster for Aqua, since most of them specialize in movement games. I would love for Pete to finally get another win, but I think they'll be just shy of making it to Dodgebolt. This team's score relies heavily on how well Elena and Michaela can do. The only thing I can think of to make this game roster better for Aqua would be to take out Railroad Rush and put Ace Race there instead. That just shows how good this team is. I have Blue in second place. This is a very interesting team. Ish has a high ceiling, he can do well when his team does well, and this is a very team games team, so it sucks Grid Runners isn't present for this event. If they can manage to get PvP out early, I think everything else can go alright for them. Both JoJo and Ish are very good at parkour. Despite Blue wanting PvP out early, I think they can do decent in both Meltdown and Sky Battle. Finally, in the spot of first place is Red. I didn't think this team was broken when I first saw it because it was the only team to have been announced at that point. I had to wait to see what the balancing would end up as. Green is top 3 players for Build Mart, period. I think he's only matched by Scott and Feinberg. There's a reason he's the self-proclaimed manager of Build Mart, it's because he's very good at the game. Green isn't known to be the best of leader for games besides Build Mart, but I think he should be the one to IGL in Railroad Rush. His team in MCC the Copper Crown had an amazing strategy of splitting up roles, which led to his team getting first. He also hasn't done badly in the event since he rejoined it in the Copper Crown. It has been a bit since H-Bomb has played, but he's practiced a bit to de-rust. The only games I could see this team wanting to be played early are Parkour Warrior and Rocket Spleef Rush. If they play their cards correctly, I think they have a great chance of making it to Dodgebolt. Now, if we somehow end up with my top 2 team placement predictions, who do I think would win between Blue and Red? Because both teams have players that I watch on them, I wouldn't mind either team winning in this scenario. I was thinking about saying that I don't have a solid answer here, but I'm giving the win to Blue. Gemma's a great archer and she hit the shots when it counted in the Copper Crown. Ish also recently pulled off a 1v3 in Double Date. JoJo hasn't legitimately been in the Dodgeball arena since Pride 24, but she usually does a bit of DB practice before the event. As for Avid, I think they would be the person on the team who focuses more on making sure their dodging is good enough as opposed to taking many shots. I don't think I've ever gone this in-depth with my team placement predictions before. I started writing out science part, saw how long it was getting, and just decided to roll with it for the rest. Reminder that this event is this Saturday, March 21st at 8 PM GMT or 4 PM EDT because of daylight savings. Have a great time zone and I'll see you when I see you. Bye!